Hey guys, back again here on Pier, just to do a bit of a bait demonstration today and hopefully get a bit of fishing in afterwards as well. Unbelievably clear day here in Phoenix, but it's really misty, kind of foggy, so I wouldn't fancy being out on the boat today. But bit of bait fishing. The trace I'm going to be using today, 5-ounce lead, short snoods, and just these little pop-ups. Now, trace is 3-hook trace, 60-pound body, 12-pound Avisa snoods. Trace is just in and around 6 foot long. I don't like to go too much longer for the pier in the snoods or the body. So I'm going to just show you a few different ways of baiting up, and that's what we're going to concentrate on today. So lug worm, one of the most versatile baits going. There's very little that won't take it, and you'd be surprised what you can get on it. One of the lads had a massive session on the Thornback rays one time using just straight lug trying to target bass. So what I like to do, some guys go from the bottom and have the hook come out the top. I like to go the opposite way. It's just what I've always done, and what I'm going to continue to do until I find out any different. So I haven't really ever found much of a difference between the two, and I have tried them side by side. So I like to try and keep my lug intact as much as possible, so not the hook coming in and out all over the place. Again, it's all to personal preference. So you get a nice neat bait, make sure your hook is going through. Then what I like to do for the winter fishing, for the whiting and things, is a small piece of mackerel, see it there, and just pop it on. Now you have your bait. I like to nip off the tails and these, just so the dabs and the whiting don't come up behind it and take off your bait. So pull our pop up down a bit further. That's what you have here. First of our baits, the lug worm. Now for the middle hook, get our claws, should be a bit more organised there. Middle hook, I'm going to put a bit of Sandeel on. Now, not really something that I'd be using an awful lot in the winter, but doing a bit of species hunting, and it is just a bit of pleasure session, so there's no harm to change it up a bit. So I have the Sandeel, which is like a small, medium type Sandeel. What I like to do is take your scissors, cut off the head, just behind the eyes, that's where I like to go, and just behind the little hole on it. So again, pop-ups on this one as well. Push the back up while you're baiting up. So I take the hook in the bottom and out. Pull it through. And I go down again around this far and pull it out again. Pull it down. So now you have it like this. Now what you do next is bait elastic. Take the hands off. And what I do is I hold it, a bit complicated here, like so, and just wrap it around. That's until you just get it started. Now I like to put a lot on, some guys don't. So put your Sandeel on. A nice neat little bait. If you want to pimp it out another little bit, just add a small little sliver of mackerel and cold hands like I have right now. What you can also do is stick them with your hand. So here we go. Lug, tip with our Sandeel, tip with a small bit of mackerel. Again the pop up. This is just to give a little bit of movement in the tide, entice those doggies in, maybe the whiting. Just never know. And last but not least, we're going to use a bit of Bluey. Now this Bluey has been out for almost a week, accidentally in the boot, but I'm going to try it because it's a pleasure session and no point in wasting it. So what I'm going to do is cut a little hole in it. I like to make it a long diamond shape and cut a little hole in it. Take our last hook, and I like to go the flesh part out. Take your hook back in and flick it through. No. Now this is where these little tools come in very handy. The dad has arrived and he's gonna... No. Get the elastic. And what this little tool does, it just allows it to sit straight for you. Takes a bit of the finickiness out of it. And you end up with a nice streamlined bait. You ready? Slide it off. Now I like to take off the extra little bits of elastic. Just again a personal preference. And there you'll see it. A nice streamlined bait. You can also take off this top bit. Make sure not to cut your snood off. So that's the first trace ready. I'll get that into the water. I'm going to come back now in a few minutes and do a black lug and a couple of little more finicky baits to show you off a few of them. See, it's one of the lug baits snapped up by about a 20cm whiting at best. So size 4 hooks, you can't keep them off, but there's not really much you can do when they do start to swarm the place. But better than work. The whiting were in full swing at this point, plenty of fish coming, but 35 being the best one. Connie was here, my father, and James from Irish Angling Adventures too. So we'll get back to a bit of baiting up now, to show you what else we're using. Hey guys, back again now for another range of baits. Again, we're going to get baited up with just different bits and pieces, just to show you a few at a time rather than going through all videos separately. And so this one is, we're going to start off with our B940M Camazans match hooks, very sharp, light and pliable as well, so very handy. The Yuki bait scissors, perfect for little fine baits, little serrated edge, and that is handy. And these are the Yuki bait tools. See them, there's probably a few more coming out with them now. There's a very flexible one for the fine baits and a stiffer one for the heavier baits. So we'll use both of those now just to show you what I mean. So we'll start off with the black wrap and mackerel. Now, I like to put it just straight through, like the lug worm again. Some guys like to weave it in and out, but this is the way I like to do it, because I think it gives a lot of scent in it, doesn't just give it out straight away. So we're going to use the lighter of the bait needles, or the baiting up tools, and again the Inova bait binder. So what we'll do is just sit it up on it, and just a couple of light ones just to get it on. And once it's on, you can give it a bit more tension. So that's the first part. What I do then is just put this into my hand. Got your slice of mackerel already done. I just like to give it a little nick. So, what I'll do this time is I'll put it belly down, sorry, so that you can see what I'm doing here. Maybe holding it wasn't the best idea, typically. So now, after that messing around there, get it back on, and we'll give it a few more wraps just to tighten it up. Now what I like to do at the end is to go down below the hook just to stop it from sliding away back up the trace. So we've got it on there. Take off the extra bit of elastic, slide that off. What I do then is just ensure that your elastic isn't pinning down your hook point. So there we have it, a little black wrap and mackerel wrap. You can tidy this up if you want to make it look nicer for the old Facebook posts. There you go. Black wrap and mackerel, ready to go. Slide down your pop-up as well if you're using them, and that'll do a good job for you. So next up we're going to do Sandeel and mackerel, another wrap. So take our Sandeel again. Now these are a bit too big for the hook that I want to be using, so I'm going to cut them down a bit. And these ones are late summer eels, so they have plenty of roe and juice in them, so you might see a bit of the belly coming out, but like I said, I've defrosted them for the video, so that's what that's coming about. So when the belly's soft, I like to go in through the side rather than through the belly, because you can see it there. I'm after bursting it already, but we're doing a wrap, so it's not really that important. Now this time we're going to put the two side by side together and use the heavier Yuki baiting tool. So again, dry off the hands a bit, trap the elastic in one hand, back on there, lads. And the more you do this, the faster you'll become at it. So if it takes a few goes the first time to get it, don't worry about it. It happens to the best of us, and it won't always be 100% perfect. Like one guy said one time, I don't think the fish are going around with chopsticks trying to figure out which bait to eat. So don't get too caught up in it. So there you go, nice and fast, very simple, nice and juicy as well. Hook point protruding. Slide that up again, and that's the bait that's going to be going out. Not too bad at all, if I do say so myself. Now for the last one, we're going to do something a little bit different, which you don't often see. So we're going to take the old Bluey, I'm going to trim it down. Stuck to my hand and all. So like I said, this Bluey is old now, so it is very fragile. So what we're going to do next is take our knife and just take the skin off. Or do you know what? The knife is a bit unnecessary because it is old. So just pull off the majority of the skin. Try it away for the birds. So we have this meat section left. Now this is where the tool comes into its own, because that's a very fine bait, very soft, and not ideal for this. So we're going to set it up like we normally would. Put it through, and you've got to be really gentle with this now until you got it onto the baiting tool. So set it up like normal, but if I go to bind this now, it's just going to fly everywhere. So like I said, this is where these boys come into their own. Get it onto the tool again, elastic, and you can afford to give this plenty of elastic, because like I said, it is just flakes of fish now and it will break up. So you're even helping it to disperse by giving it a bit of elastic. Now there we go. So that's just flesh, a tiny bit of the skin left on, but it's not actually the outer skin, but that little silver might do us a job. So there you go. Like I said, if any of these you want to see them again or in more detail, let us know, and we'll get them done for you. Now, time for a bit of fishing. So things improving. Decent sized whiting there. Get him back. And proper size. Don't generally get him this size. I just see a seagull. That must have just landed on his head. He's gone away with him. So nice little whiting there. I'm going to hold on to him and feed the cats. So we have a first cast, nice little whiting. And would you believe it? It's taken the old Bluey bait from Sunday, and this is Thursday, so it's been inside the car since then. Hooked right at the bottom of the jaw. I actually thought he was foul hook first, but it's gone through. Small little whiting. Not bad to get things going.